Welcome back to another episode of Run Yogi Diaries. This is your host, Santosh Shiva. If you're new to the channel, please do remember to subscribe. If you like this conversation, hit like and leave your comments below and let us know what you think. Excited to have Hari Shankar back in the saddle. He was one of my earliest guests, one of the co-founders of Chennai Runners in Chennai, India. And I have him back because he has been making some huge strides in his fitness. From being a sub-4 marathoner, he has shaved a lot of time and became a 3:31 finisher and then became a Boston qualifier recently. So we're going to get into how and what he did to get fast. And remember, as we get older, it gets more difficult to get faster. So obviously he's doing something right. Let's dig in. Hey Hari, welcome to Run Yogi Diaries again.
Thank you so much, Santosh, for having me. Great meeting you again.
Yeah, I was just looking at when was the last time we recorded a podcast, and you were probably one of the earliest guests.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
episode number 9, guys. We've had a conversation where we covered Hari's journey as a runner, and I was looking at now it's October 2024. It's 4 years. I mean, like time just has flown, and back then it was middle of pandemic. It was a
Yeah,
different time, different world.
yeah, that's right. I was running around the apartment with my son, and a couple of times we sneaked out during the pandemic and got caught by the police and had to pay some fine. Yeah, different time then.
I know, and it felt like that world would come to an end at that point, right? We were all
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah,
we were like, will the world change fundamentally? And well,
yeah,
here we are in 2024. The world remains pretty much the same. There is
yeah.
wars going on. People are fighting amongst themselves. We are back. We are back in full
We are,
humanity.
yeah, and we are still running.
And we are still running too. Runners will continue running. Well, let me take the opportunity to reintroduce you. I know
Yeah.
it's been 4 years. So first off, Hari, again, welcome to the show. You're an accomplished runner. You've been at it, one of the co-founders of Chennai running scene, the
Yes.
Chennai running runners group. And that's a very active, an expansive group helping people lead an active lifestyle. So that's amazing. And you live in Chennai, of course.
Yeah.
Um, you are married, have a son. You work as an HR professional in one of the technology companies in Chennai, right? But you
Yeah.
also have become a professional coach.
Yeah, not a certified coach. I'm in my 20 years of experience, what I've
Hmm.
learned, we've done many wrongs, many mistakes. That learnings has really helped. And I started coaching around 15 student athletes of mine
Hmm.
for either 10K, half marathon, or full marathon. Yeah, and it's that journey is also wonderful. I'm enjoying that as well.
Yeah, I love it. Great. So we are here to specifically because you have qualified for the Boston,
That's
uh,
right.
and and I think what fascinates me is that as you get older, you know,
Hmm.
the question is it is it easier to or closer to qualifying for Boston because your times do come down, but at the same time you're getting older. So I want to get into that and understand your perspective on how hard it was. And so let's start with maybe what was your previous PR, right? And how much did you have to shave to qualify for Boston?
Okay. So my previous PR was in February 2024 in Delhi, which was 3 hours 31 minutes.
Hmm.
And I had registered for Berlin, which is on September 29th. So the BQ was 3 hours 25 minutes.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, 6 minutes I got to shave to qualify. But then, 10 weeks before the race, on September 16th, Boston Athletic Association announces that my BQ is not 325, it is 320.
Wow.
That was a hit. I went quiet for half a day. Didn't speak to anyone. I was like, you know what 5 minutes is, right, Santosh?
It is a lot.
Yeah. But then my wife told me and my son told me, Hari, just go run, enjoy the run.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the previous PR was 3:31, and the new BQ happened to be 3 hours 20 minutes.
Hmm.
So I had to crack
It's
that.
11 minutes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I
Okay.
finished Berlin in 3 hours 17 minutes. So that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
double click
Yeah.
on that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how and on the how of it. And before you did the 331 in February, what was your PR?
3:54.
Wow. See, that is
Yeah. Yeah.
that is critical information. And that was in what year?
February 2023.
See, that's critical information. That is
Yeah.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
So that's the story here, right? Because
Correct.
one is the 331 to 317. That is no
Yeah.
by means no easy
True.
task.
Right.
But I think the real story here is 354 to 317 in a matter of about 1.5 years.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. That is something. So
Yeah.
obviously, um, and the myth is that as you get older, it's more difficult, right?
True.
Creaking joints, mobility issues.
Right. Right.
And I'm not saying you're old, but in general.
I know. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So
Yeah.
let's start with the 354, right?
Hmm.
And tell us, how did you get to 331 to begin with? Right. That's 21. That's 20 plus minutes of time
Okay.
shaved off.
Yeah. So, you know that my son is also a runner, right?
Hmm. You mentioned it last time. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
pretty fast too. So he says I cheated in Delhi,
That is which one? The
February 2023, when I got,
okay.
no,
Sub
February
four.
2024 in
Hmm.
3:31.
Hmm.
I'll tell you this bit at the beginning
Uh-huh.
itself because he registered for half,
Hmm.
and then that was planned. In
Hmm.
between, when we crossed each other, we calculated all the distances and all. It'll be around 2.5 kilometers for him. When I'll pass him on the opposite
Hmm.
side,
Hmm.
it'll be around 23rd kilometer for me. He will jump
Hmm.
the road and start pacing me from there. Obviously, he will not take
Hmm.
his half marathon medal, and he did pace
Hmm.
me. And from then on, I took off my watch. I didn't care about
Hmm.
timing because he was
Hmm.
pacing me from the 23rd kilometer, my 23rd kilometer, and he got
Hmm.
me to 3:31. So he said it's cheating.
Okay, that's a jest, guys. Who is listening to this?
Right.
He didn't mean it seriously.
Yeah.
He actually did the
So,
331
yeah.
just to be just so that in the internet these days there isn't much you need to do to people to start reacting negatively. So it's just a joke. Yeah, but you actually did the 331. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So from 3:54, that was a usual. Till then, my marathons used to be as long as I get a sub 4, it's fine,
Hmm.
right? But then my son said, "Hari, Appa, I want you to do a BQ. You can do this." Then yes,
Hmm.
uh, there are some few things which I followed, which you might call it as a hack,
Yeah,
right?
give us your top hack.
Yeah. Uh, uh, this is already published. I keep this is like a Bible to me. Keep talking about every student athlete of mine, whomever I talk to. What different did you do? I trained hard. I really trained hard. I used to clock around 350, 370 kilometers per month in my training cycle.
That's about
That's around
150 miles.
200 miles.
200 miles. Oh
Yeah,
my god. In a
I
week,
think so. No, in a month.
in a month. Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah,
about seven. Yeah, okay, 50 miles a week. Okay.
yeah. And I fixed my sleep.
Hmm.
I used to get at least 7 hours of sleep every day minimum. This is a must, Santosh. Otherwise,
Yep.
you will not progress. You got to fix your sleep, and then,
So how did you?
uh,
Okay, you should talk about how did you fix it? Like what was
yeah.
happening before and what you did before. Yeah, please go ahead.
So you want me to talk about the sleep part, or should
No,
I
you can
finish?
list it and
Right.
then we can come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Then I used to have at least 3 to 4 liters of water every
Mm,
day, right? Then I met my daily protein goals. At
mhm,
least my minimum body weight I used to measure for that equivalent of protein, and then whatever my wife makes as lunch and dinner is add on, which I don't calculate. But then
mhm,
with some eggs, protein supplements,
mhm,
protein bars, and all that, I used to uh, meet my at least my body weight of protein goals.
mhm.
Then I was very regular. I mean, 2 days a week in the gym, doing strength training a
Mhm.
lot. When I say a lot, it wouldn't cross more than 45 minutes each session. But then
Okay.
I knew my weakness points were my calf and glutes and lower back. So the
Okay.
focus was more there than anything else, right? And then I started doing every Friday mobility exercises,
Okay.
specifically for on Friday. Then I I went zero sugar,
Mm,
no sugar. Anyway, I never used to have sugar in my coffee, but then I stopped all kinds of sugar and sweets, of course, chocolates,
mhm,
everything. There was no sugar at all. I added a lot of veggies, a lot of pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds into my diet,
mhm,
right? Thanks to my wife. And then, of course, pre-run stretching, post-run stretching had a lot of focus there.
mhm,
Uh, Most of us kind of ignore it or quickly do a kind of warm up and stretching.
mhm,
And yeah, but there was focus on pre-run stretching and post-run stretching. The biggest thing, another thing like sleep, what I fixed was pre-run fueling. I really fixed it.
mhm.
Uh, I used to drink at least 750 ml of water and electrolyte before I step out of the
Okay.
house,
Okay.
right? And then every Sunday, the hydration during the run was similar to how I would do it on a race day.
Mm,
So every Sunday became like a race day, so that race day becomes just like another Sunday run,
mm, mm,
right? So that was a practice which I really did well, and I believed the training plan, I believed the journey,
mm,
and didn't care about the result.
mm. Trust the
And
process.
trust the process, yes.
Mhm.
And the result will happen, I knew. And finally, the last point I would like to make is I enjoyed every run of my training plan.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So quite a bit
yeah,
there, right?
yeah, yeah,
That you've
yeah,
unpack over there, and maybe we pick a few in the so that one is you said sleep, and I
yeah,
think that's a very important. It seems to be a recurring theme in a lot of conversations.
correct.
How much were you sleeping before, and what did you do to change
Okay,
that, like to sleep better?
okay. Earlier was 5.5 hours,
Hmm.
5 hours, sometimes if I'm lucky, 6 hours.
Hmm.
So you can't change that overnight,
Hmm.
but if you keep practicing, and then I did this, it worked for me. And Yeah, I recommend to all my student athletes also to try this. What I did was I shut off all devices 1 hour, 1.5 hours before
Hmm.
uh, my sleep time, which is at 9:30 p.m.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't touch my laptop, and mostly I don't, and my phone. Some I don't. I never do this browsing thing on the phone anyway, so it was
Hmm.
easier,
No, no doom scrolling.
No,
It's
yeah,
called doom
yeah.
scrolling.
You don't have anything to do. You just keep scrolling. I don't
Hmm.
do that
Hmm.
anyway.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I started doing the same routine in the last from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
It can be anything, but it's got to do be the same thing. Like
Hmm.
uh, go have a shower, have dinner, spend time with family, and read a book or read something and then go to bed. It can be a
mm,
routine. It can be any
mm,
routine. You can probably
mm,
start
mm,
with the brain has to know, yes, Hari is going to go to bed, ready to go to bed now. He's changed his clothes. He's shut down his laptop. Everything in a pattern in the same manner the last 1 hour, right? It can be you go uh, do some gardening in your house if you have and you're interested, or do meditation for 5-10 minutes and do the next thing, have dinner, then do this. It's a routine. You
mhm,
list out 5 or 6 items other than scrolling your mobile and laptop, anything
mm,
other than screen time. Make a routine, 5-6 line items, and do that in that order every night and then go to bed.
mm.
It worked for me, but you need to have patience.
And that
And
improved your
then,
sleep, quality of sleep.
yes, yes,
And
yeah.
do you measure your quality of sleep? Do you wear a
No, I don't.
device?
I
No.
don't. I don't wear a device while. So then all that gets into your head, Santosh. Then you get up in the morning, see how much you slept, and oh, I slept only for, but then it was REM and not whatever. All
Yeah.
sort of. I don't do anything. I just go to bed. So all
Okay.
devices, when I meant no wristwatches also. Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a
Makes sense.
routine. You list out. It can be anything for you. What works for you?
Yeah.
It can be a walk, a dinner, shower, dinner, walk,
Mm,
or shower and then you do some gardening, or you read a magazine, or list out
mm, mm,
something where you're calm in a place,
mm.
you know, and then not on phone calls with a friend or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Shut all dopamine inducing activities, as they say.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah,
That's very interesting and very fascinating, and something that would be a good takeaway in terms of kind of creating some. I've heard of these people talk about micro habits and creating a pattern before you go to sleep, and that's, I think,
right.
like that's what you are also saying. Create a pattern. Anything other than doom scrolling on the social media or
Yes,
on
yes.
something that calms you down, and then you go to bed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking away. The second thing I want to click on is the protein part of it, right? And
Hmm.
that's something that I've also started now, and I hear a lot in the nutritional circles that most of us are not consuming enough protein
Correct.
by design, right?
Right.
It has to be a conscious effort.
Correct.
Now, so do you have diet restrictions? Are you a vegetarian kind of, or do you eat everything?
At home, we are vegetarians.
Okay.
And if we go outside, which is very rare,
Yeah.
it's non-vegetarian if I have company.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. So the reason I was asking is, protein source,
yeah,
and how did you uh, attack that problem, right? Let's
right.
say if you're a 80 or say 75 kilogram person on an average, you probably need to consume about 75 grams of protein a
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
which is
right.
not easy
Not easy.
considering
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
our diet
right.
is very carb loaded. So
Correct.
how did you do that?
So again, so South Indians, vegetarian, hardly there is protein in your food,
Mm,
right? So what I did was 3 eggs in a day, that is 12 grams,
mm,
right? You can increase that to 6 eggs.
mhm.
I know a friend of mine who has 8 eggs in a day, right? So,
Okay.
but then for
There's
me,
12 grams of
morning,
protein in an egg per egg.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, 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 4 grams in an egg.
4 grams in an egg. Okay.
Yeah. So three. What happens is soon after my run, I have a protein bar which has 20 grams of protein.
Mhm,
Okay. So that makes it 20. Then 3 eggs makes it 12, 32.
mhm,
Then I have a protein shake which has got another 25.
mhm,
56 is done. That's my weight.
mhm. Okay. It's easy. I won't give away my weight to the public, but I would have to work harder to get some more protein.
Then after that, this is all done in the morning itself.
Mhm,
You met your body weight
mm,
there. Then whatever comes is extra in terms of every day there is some salad which has tofu or it could be rajma or anything. It's all, I can't measure it.
Yeah.
I don't know to measure it, but then I know it's add-on bonus for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then dosa will be wheat dosa or millet
Hmm.
dosa. All that adds on to it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, then of course I have my lunch, which is rice, is there always.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's how I was
That's
meeting
how you got
my,
it.
yeah.
Protein
Earlier,
goal.
what used to happen is I don't know how much protein I'm having.
Hmm.
You have two, three dosas or whatever, you don't know how much protein it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
Or you have
True.
a bowl of salad with tofu in it, you don't know how much protein it has.
Yes.
Or I don't know to calculate.
Yes.
So this is something I knew. This protein bar has got 20 grams, three eggs is
Hmm.
12. My protein shake is 25 grams. That's it. After which is
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah. And maybe it's a much bigger conversation in terms of what protein does, the amount of protein, but for sure
Yeah,
at a high level recovery
recovery. Yes,
and also
yes,
inflammation, right?
yes.
Because from what I understand and have read, is that if your meal are mostly carbohydrates, you're also increasing inflammation
Correct.
and things like
Yeah,
that, right?
right.
So again,
Yeah,
this is
right,
out of scope for this conversation,
right.
but people can Google and
Yeah,
talk to nutritional experts of why the protein is
correct.
important, right? And the third thing you talked about was you gave up sugar.
Yes,
And so why did you give up sugar? What problem did that solve for you?
I became lighter.
Hmm.
I felt lighter, and definitely, I would say, I think the biggest thing was I was feeling lighter. I was not feeling
Hmm.
full, right?
Okay.
Uh, I never had a sweet tooth before, so it was easy for me, Santosh.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, uh, if you ask me, one biggest thing was I felt lighter, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, and that craving was never there, and now I still don't have it. So, if you see a direct, visible change, what happened to me was only feeling lighter.
Hmm.
I don't know. And I don't know scientifically whether it improves your running. I can't say. I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
not a scientist, but it did improve for me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And makes sense. And then you also talked about two other things, which I think caught my attention. One is the volume of training you increased,
Hmm. Hmm.
went to almost 50 miles average a week,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is actually not too much.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, which is
Exactly.
kind of the necessary amount of volume you need for
You
a
need for a
marathon training.
correct.
And a lot of us compromise on that. We end up
Correct.
doing 30, 40 miles and say, okay, that is enough because I've done
Yeah.
those long
Right.
runs. But
Right.
I think one takeaway is that at least you went by the book saying that 50 miles minimum, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
something serious as this. And you also said weight training, right? And
Right.
so uh, did you hire a coach, a
Okay.
trainer for that,
Right.
or did you do it
Right.
yourself?
Okay. So different people have different views here, Santosh. I didn't want a personal trainer because
Hmm.
I feel they push you.
Hmm.
Uh, Thing is, he may not know running.
Hmm.
At least in the ordinary gym, I go to a very ordinary gym. Personal
Hmm.
trainers there, they want you to build muscles,
Hmm.
and he wants you to lift more weights. Lifting more weights is okay, but then I don't lift more than 10 kg of dumbbells.
Okay.
That's the maximum. And so I didn't want a personal trainer as long as, I mean, he didn't know running. So he didn't know what is my priority. My priority was not to build muscles, but to have lean and stronger core and things like that, which I thought I can fix it myself. I was lucky there. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So, and this led to your 331 from a 354. This is your kind of what you've done, and that showed on the outcomes on
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
331.
Correct.
And in terms of the your experience during the race,
Hmm.
right? Between your three, let's say the 354 and the
Hmm.
ones before that and the 331, did you feel any different during the final stages of
Yeah.
the race, like the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
5 miles?
So with all this, all these years, after 32, 33, I used to always hit a wall. How much of a training I
Mm,
did. I'm talking before February 2024,
yes. Mm,
right? February 2023 and February 2024 and September 2024, uh, which is the Delhi and the Berlin Marathon, I didn't hit a wall at all.
mm,
So I can't pinpoint one single factor whether I train harder, I clock more mileage, or it was zero sugar. I think it's a combination of all these things. It can't
yeah,
be one, right?
correct,
It
correct.
has to be a combination of everything.
Combination.
So I didn't hit a wall at all. Probably
Yeah.
40th kilometer or something, I slowed down a little.
Mm,
Yeah, uh, yeah.
that's
That is a
fantastic.
big difference what I felt during the race.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Great. So now you are 331, and then you put your goal on the Boston qualification,
correct.
right? So what else did you have to do more to get there? That's
Okay,
another 11
right,
minutes of shaving off. It's not a joke when you're
right,
there at this level of fitness, right?
right. So there are a lot of learnings when you coach somebody else also, right?
Hmm.
So I learned a lot from my students as well. One thing I also learned, which I was practicing, but then I really increased it in the last 6 months after Delhi, before the Berlin was uh, visualization.
Hmm.
Okay, uh,
What does
how
that
would
mean? Tell us more
how
about
would, yeah, how would I feel at the start line?
it.
How
Hmm.
do I feel? How does the pace feel? The race pace feel,
Hmm.
right? How does 30th kilometer feel? How will I pick up a drink?
Hmm.
What will go wrong? And to accept it, adapt. All this visualization every night, Santosh.
Wow.
Every night. I was practicing for a 440 pace for Berlin.
Hmm.
You won't believe the height of visualization I went to. I used to keep
440
my
or 340?
440 pace per
40.
kilometer.
440 pace kilometers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, okay.
So the height of visualization is, I used to keep the morning alarm at 4:40.
Wow.
So 4:40 was getting ingrained wherever I want. I want to see 4:40.
Like a manifestation.
Yes.
Wow. And
Uh,
so this is
there is
psychological
this
hack.
there is this yes. There is this movie by Will Smith. I forgot the name. They use this technique.
Hmm.
I picked up from there. So my morning alarm was 4:40, but then I raced at 4:35, 4:36 pace. That's different.
Yeah.
That's another thing which I learned, to go by effort and not rely on my watch.
Hmm.
See, your heart doesn't understand pace.
Hmm.
Only your Garmin Chorus understands 4:30, 4:40.
Mhm.
But
Hmm.
your heart understands only effort.
Effort. Hmm.
So I started running a lot. All my training run were based on effort. I used to wear the
Okay.
watch, of course. Yeah, but then you got to learn how to run by effort. Watch, heart doesn't understand whether you're running at 4:30 pace, 5 pace, or anything. It
Yeah.
knows the effort. So if you tell me to run at a half marathon effort, I can without my watch, and even if I keep it in my pocket, I know it'll show what my actual half marathon pace should be. So there is a difference between effort and
Wow.
pace.
This is mind blowing.
Yeah. So when you
Both
practice,
are. Yeah.
there is something, when you say half marathon effort, pace is different. Half marathon pace is different.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
At one point, Santosh, they can become equal. They can be the same.
Yes. Beautiful. That is like one of the movies is mind itch blowing, because these are psychological hacks, because it
Yes.
almost seems like to get to 331 from 354, you, I think, kind of fixed your physical hacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did everything, and the next realm was not anything physical. You could have
Yeah.
maybe scraped out another few minutes by doing something different, but this is amazing, right? This visualization that you're talking about, which is psychological hack. And the second thing is the manifestation part of it, right? The visualization manifestation part of
True.
it, and then the feel. And that is very profound, I would say,
Yeah.
if I were to highlight, because you're right. I think we talk about things like mindfulness, mindful running, knowing your feel, being in
Yeah.
touch with your running. But in practical sense, what you're saying is what it means,
Yeah.
right? Like
Exactly.
knowing how it feels to run,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and you're saying now you can connect it to the pace
Yeah.
without looking at the watch almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. Wow. Okay, got it. Now we know why you got it, why you did it. Answers are given. Okay. Anything else? I mean, I get it. I think this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Mm. Yeah. I get a lot of support from my family,
Right, of course.
from my friends, and at my workplace.
Mm,
So those are very important things
yeah,
to add on
yeah,
to this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Of course, I get that. Yeah, I think very nice. You've kind of taken us through the physical hacks. We talked about it. Nutrition was important. The volume of training was important. But this is really taking it to the next level. The psychological hacks,
Yeah.
and people talk about mind over matter, and people talk about these things, but this is what it means. That's what you exactly
Yeah.
did, right?
Yeah.
This is a great takeaway. Fantastic. And so that was what we wanted to talk about today, right?
Right.
And um, I want to maybe pivot into the last part of a conversation. If there's
Hmm.
anything else you want to say before that,
No.
we'll move into, right? I think
Yeah.
this is very nice and brief and to the point. But people can reach out to you if they want to talk to you more about some of these
Yes.
things, especially
Certainly.
visualization and the second one that you talked about, right? The feel, the
Yeah.
emotion, being in touch with
Effort
running,
based runs.
effort based runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Switching to the last part of this conversation, I always do a fun Q&A round. We did it last time, I think we met, but things may have changed in the last
Hmm.
4 years. So
Hmm.
let's anyway go through that as a quick round of
Sure. Sure,
questions,
Santosh.
okay? And then we'll wind up for the day. So, um, I had these questions, but I'm thinking maybe I know all the answers already. But let's go for it
Hmm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
um, do you still eat junk food? Is there
No.
a craving? No more
No.
junk foods.
No junk food at
All
all.
junk foods out. So
Yeah.
I can't ask you what's your favorite junk food. That's gone.
No. That's gone.
What was it before?
I used to like pani puri.
Ah,
Okay. Uh, yeah. That's it. I mean, food was always kind of.
yeah,
I like food, but I started shifting. Food is fuel.
yeah,
That's it. And yeah, no junk food, Santosh.
junk food. Okay, but I think you gave up. Let's say that the food that you gave up was pani puri, I guess, in the process of trying to get here.
Yeah, you could say that.
You could say that. Yeah.
Mm.
What is your favorite pre-race food now?
Okay. Uh, Training runs is two bread toast with peanut butter, and I have some almonds and some nuts, a banana. Uh, so on Sundays, if it's a long run, I'll have uh, the previous night. It's called in Tamil. It is called Arisi Upma. Your upma made of
Mhm.
rice. Yeah. So I have that in the morning also. Small, 2-3
Yeah.
spoons. Yeah, and fueling. So morning is that fueling nutrition. I really fixed it.
Okay.
Right. So that was important. So uh, race day, I had a big bowl of uh, oats with a lot
Mhm.
of berries in it and bread toast. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Uh, what do you do when you're not running? What's the favorite way you spend your time when you're not running?
You got me there. The last today is 2 weeks since Berlin, and
Uh,
I'm big on Netflix. I go to
oh,
sleep at yeah, I have to catch up, and so I watch a lot of movies.
okay.
I at least one movie in the night. So I'm taking that liberty to sleep late and all that. But
Nice.
from tomorrow, my base building starts.
Okay. For the
Yeah,
Boston. Okay.
not for the Boston. Boston is 2026, Santosh.
Okay. Okay.
I'm running something else.
Okay. Got it. Uh, a bucket list race, other than, of course, we know Boston is in the bucket list and you
Yeah,
already kind of
yeah,
qualified. Any other bucket list race
yeah.
that you have?
I want to do three. I have three in mind. One is the Istanbul Marathon,
Hmm.
which is the only marathon which starts from Asia and ends in Europe, which connects two
Oh,
continents.
wow.
That's one thing I
Interesting.
want to do. Comrades
Hmm.
and either Two Oceans Marathon or Gold Coast in Australia. These are some. If you notice, none of the world majors are there.
Good ones. New ones. These are new ones. Istanbul is
These are
first.
there. These been there, but
No, no,
I mean, these
first time I'm
are
here. Yeah. Not
these.
very commonly talked about.
Yeah, most of the world majors are crowded, expensive.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is, imagine, Santosh, you
Different.
starting at one continent, ending
Yes.
in another. That's something which I
Yes.
want to do.
Lovely. 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 That's
Yeah.
good. Something new I learned today.
Mm.
Nice. We should publicize this more, but not make
Yeah.
it too crowded though. Last one. If you're into movies, that's even better. If we made a movie of your life so far, what genre would you put it in, and who will you hire to play your character?
Very difficult question. Genre will be drama.
Hmm.
What character? Who character to
Which actor will
play?
you hire?
Oh, you're talking about which actor? I don't know.
You have to pick an actor to play your character. Who do you think can do a good job?
I think it'll be. I think it will be Will Smith.
Will Smith. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
If I
right.
pick, I mean,
Will
I never thought of that. But now that you're asking me, I'm
Good, good. Will Smith, the script is on its way.
saying.
All right. Hey, that was a great conversation.
Yes,
And
Santosh.
kind of wrapping up here,
Hmm.
any last words to any fine, I want to give you the last word in the show. Anything you want to tell the audience before we wrap up?
Yeah. Whoever is watching this and wants to, uh, I want them to enjoy their runs, the foremost
Mm,
thing, right? And yeah, that's the most important thing. Enjoy your runs,
yeah,
and the result will follow. Yes, that's
yeah,
something which I want to share.
got it, got it.
Yeah.
And one last thing, what is
Hmm.
the age group you qualified in Boston?
50 to 55. I'm
Okay, no give
52,
away the
so
age.
yeah, it's
Okay,
okay. That's
all
okay.
right,
That's the
great.
number.
Congratulations again.
Thank you,
Look forward
Santosh.
to all the future adventures you have. Amazing conversation, lot of learning. I'll let
Yeah.
you enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll be in touch.
Yes,
Bye.
Santosh. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.